Part 19. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, She Yet. Chapter 181. Kong Lian had been asking for leave for the next semester, and then it was revealed that she was actually the illegitimate daughter of Ren Ran's father, which caused an uproar in the school. At that time, it was rumored that she had dropped out of school, but now she suddenly came back at the time of the college entrance examination, and everyone was naturally very surprised. Didn't she drop out of school? Can she do well in the college entrance examination if she comes back now? I was wondering why she targeted Ren Ran before. It turned out to be an illegitimate daughter versus a legitimate daughter. Before, I thought she was studying to avoid us and prepare to repeat the year next year, but now it seems that I was superficial. She is so thick-skinned that she is not afraid at all. Listening to the discussions and contemptuous looks from everyone, Kong Lian turned a deaf ear and walked towards Ren Ran. Sister Kong Lian called her sweetly. You. Ren Ran spit it out to her directly. My mother only gave birth to me as a daughter, don't get involved, thank you. Kong Lian smiled indifferently. Although you and I have the same father but different mothers, we are still a family after all. Some people are really thick-skinned, Zhao Yi mocked. Some people say that they are sisters, but in the end they are here to fight for the family property, Guo Tongwen said with a smile. Lin Xiaoi followed and said, unfortunately, the family property belongs to Ren, not Kong. Faced with the ridicule of the crowd, Kong Lian did not shrug, refute, or get angry, but walked past them and returned to her seat. This move made Lin Xiaoi and the other two feel like they were punching cotton. After class, they thought Kong Lian would pester Ren Ran, but she didn't, and everything was very normal. At noon, Kong Lian went to the cafeteria alone to get food and ate alone. The little followers who followed her before stayed away from her. Zhao Yi looked at Kong Lian, who was eating alone in the corner, and nudged Ren Ran with his elbow. She has really changed. Yeah. It seems to have changed a lot. Lin Xiaoi didn't know how to describe it. It feels like a tiger without claws and fangs, a poisonous snake without venom, and the whole person becomes cowardly and without brilliance. Guo Tongwen frowned and reminded, Ren Ran, I always feel that Kong Lian is holding back something good. Ren Ran also knew it and nodded to her. On the rooftop, Ren Ran was wearing a Bluetooth headset, and Gao Ying's voice came to her ears. Miss, Kong Lian was taken away by Ruan Fengru's parents. Yesterday, they met Ruan Fengru and Kong Ji at the 4th hospital, and came out of the 4th hospital an hour and a half later. Gao Ying thought about it and explained, this matter has been reported to Director Ren yesterday. Director Ren asked me not to use these insignificant things to disturb my studies for the time being, so The college entrance examination will be in another week, and I am afraid that she will be distracted by disturbing her with these things. 10 years of sharpening a sword, just look at these few days. If there is anything to come, tell me directly. As for my grandfather, keep it a secret for now and don't tell me the situation. Okay. How is my brother? According to the news from the private detective, Yao Qingyan has met with Ho Iat Seng. Yao Qingyan is seducing Ho Iat Seng intentionally or unintentionally. For my brother's creations, you should quietly register the copyright for him and don't let anyone know. Understood. After explaining what needed to be explained, he left the rooftop. Everyone thought Kong Lian would do something naughty, but she was very quiet. No matter how people outside talked about her, she was like nothing happened, quiet and peaceful. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, She Yet. Chapter 182. On the rooftop, Ren Ran had just finished talking to Gao Ying. When she turned around, she saw Kong Lian coming from the entrance. She seemed not to see Ren Ran and walked straight to the fence. Ren Ran walked past her. She didn't know if she was overthinking it, but she always felt that Kong Lian was a little different today. She was lifeless, like a lifeless zombie. This feeling was not obvious a few days ago, but it was particularly obvious today. Ren, wait a minute. Ren stopped and turned to look at her. At this time, Kong Lian had walked to the fence, leaning on the fence, facing her with a smile on her face. What's the matter? That sinister smile made Ren feel very uncomfortable and always felt very weird. Ren, do you think you won? Ren held the phone in his hand, staring at her, and quietly moved his hand away. He glanced at the screen from the corner of his eye. After successfully turning on the recording function, he became interested and wanted to see what she was up to. What do you want to say? Ren frowned. Kong Lian laughed, and the smile was a little crazy. I won't live long, I want to drag you to be my scapegoat. You want to kill me? Ren subconsciously took 2 steps back and looked at her vigilantly. No, Kong Lian smiled and shook his head, killing you is too easy for you. I want you to bear the condemnation of thousands of people and let you live with the title of murderer forever. Ren realized something, and his pupils suddenly widened. Ren, this is the gift I want to give you, you have to feel it well. With that, Kong Lian turned over and jumped down resolutely. Don't be impulsive. Ren rushed over, but the distance between them was too far. When she rushed to the fence, she only saw Kong Lian with his arms open, showing her a devilish smile. She really wanted to drag her to be my scapegoat even if she died. Ren waved at her with his mobile phone, pointing his finger at the screen, indicating her to look over here. She couldn't guarantee that Kong Lian would see it, but since she wanted to disgust herself, she also wanted to disgust her once. As for whether it would succeed, it all depended on luck. Kong Lian, who was falling rapidly, kept staring at Ren, and naturally understood what she meant. Suddenly, her pupils suddenly widened, and she understood. For a moment, she regretted it. Unfortunately, there is no regret medicine. Bang! Blood splattered everywhere, and until the moment of death, her eyes were wide open, and she died with her eyes open. In front of the teaching building, there were shrill and terrified screams. Ah! Someone jumped off the building. Ren came down from the rooftop. Police cars and ambulances all came, and the teachers drove all the students back to the classroom. A police officer stepped forward. According to the surveillance, when Kong Lian fell from the building, you were on the rooftop, right? Yes. Student Ren, please assist us in the investigation. Ren nodded to show that he understood. Many students poked their heads out and naturally saw Ren being taken away by the police. Do you think it was Ren who pushed Kong Lian down the stairs? That's impossible. I heard from the teacher and the police earlier that the only people who went to the rooftop at that time were Ren and Kong Lian, not to mention that they had a grudge against each other. It's not impossible that she attacked her. Although Kong Lian is hateful, she is not guilty of death. Killing someone is too cruel. Some people couldn't help but stand up for Kong Lian. Zhao Yi immediately spoke up to defend. What nonsense are you talking about? Ren is definitely not the murderer. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, She Yet. Chapter 183. Kong Lian has nothing left. Why do you think Ren would sacrifice his happiness for the rest of his life for such a person? Guo Tongwen followed to refute these people who were opportunistic and double-crossed. Lin Xiaoi followed up, the police haven't said anything yet, and you are sentenced here. Who gave you the right? Don't you know that malicious speculation is also a kind of harm? What kind of person is Ren? Don't you know it? Under the protection of the three people, the class became much quieter. Lao Zhao returned to the classroom and said to the students below, "There are still 3 days before the college entrance examination. What you should focus on now is the college entrance examination, not other things. You have worked hard for 3 years, and you don't want to give up all your previous efforts. Everyone, concentrate and focus on studying." Lao Zhao persuaded here, and the students listened carefully. Ding Chong suddenly screamed, Everyone, go check out Kong Lian's Penguin Talk. Someone has posted a screenshot of Kong Lian's Penguin Talk on the internet. The news that a student from Haishi No. 1 Middle School jumped off a building was quickly spread in front of the powerful internet. Those self-media bloggers who wanted to take advantage of the hotspots and wanted to eat this wave of traffic would naturally conduct an in-depth investigation of Kong Lian. In less than half an hour, these people turned Kong Lian's QQ Talk and other personal social accounts upside down, and naturally saw Kong Lian's confession on the social account. Most of these voices were about being threatened by her half-sister, who wanted to drive her away and not let her take the college entrance examination, and even threatened her that if she didn't leave, she would never see the sun tomorrow. The words reflected her helplessness, fear, and hesitation. After Ding Chong shouted, the students who were originally preparing to concentrate on reviewing took out their hidden mobile phones one by one and began to look through them. Oh my God! No way! It's really Ren Ran. Ren Ran is really the murderer. This is the motive for the murder. I really didn't expect Ren Ran to do such a thing. The college entrance examination is coming soon, why is she so depressed? At this time, Ren Ran, who was being questioned by the police, had a calm face. They naturally saw the so-called evidence left by Kong Lian, which can also be said to be the motive for the murder. Do you have anything to explain? A female police officer looked at her. Ren Ran looked at it calmly, without any tension at all, and her calmness made the two police officers opposite frown. In front of a life, she was so calm. Ren Ran pushed the tablet back. There is nothing to comment on. If I really want to say how I feel, I can only say that it is childish. Watch your words. The female police officer's voice was a little sharper. Ren Ran took out the mobile phone. You two might as well take a look at this before talking. The two police officers took the mobile phone with doubts, and after seeing the video, they were both stunned. They never thought that a high school student would take revenge on someone at the cost of his life. This behavior is too crazy. The girl in front of them is not a perpetrator, but a victim. If she didn't have this video, what she would face, they all know. Are children nowadays so extreme and terrifying? An old police officer stared at Ren Ran with narrowed eyes. How did you take this video? Ren Ran replied with 2 words, experience. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 184. If you have investigated the disputes between her and me, you will understand why I did this. I was really scared of being cheated. I was on the rooftop making a phone call and she followed me. When I was about to leave, she suddenly called me. My past experience with her and the way her mother and daughter behaved made me react subconsciously. If nothing happens, then everything will be fine. If something happens, then this is my life-saving talisman. I am very glad that my caution and experience saved my life. Then several police officers asked a few more questions before letting her go. As soon as she left the police station, Gao Ying came with Zhou Suan. Without waiting for Gao Ying to speak, Ren Ran asked, what stage has the matter developed to now? Now all the major VS and many self-media on the internet are spreading it. It will soon become a social hotspot. By that time, the reputation of the young lady and the reputation of the group company will be affected. This is a response plan made by the public relations department at the fastest speed. Do you think it's okay? Gao Ying handed the tablet to her. Ren Ran browsed it and said, change it? This one is too conservative. I'll ask them to do it again. Don't worry, I'll send you a video. You can watch it first. After watching it, let the public relations department combine it with the video to see if they can gain some benefits from this matter. After watching the video, Gao Ying's eyes lit up, and her heart, which had been hanging high, finally let go. That woman wanted to destroy the young lady in this way, but she didn't expect the young lady to be one step ahead. Kong Lian was ruthless in this game, deliberately choosing the eve of the college entrance examination. She used her own death to make Ren Ran fall into public opinion and be exposed online. The time she chose was still the eve of the college entrance examination, which directly disrupted Ren Ran's mood and made her unable to take the college entrance examination with peace of mind. Her heart is worthy of death. If Kong Lian really succeeded, Ren Ran would have stayed in the police station and been investigated. Even if she rushed to the college entrance examination, she would face the eyes of people around her who looked at her as a murderer. People with low psychological tolerance can easily suffer from mental breakdown. This experience, Ren Ran had experienced in his previous life. However, Kong Lian took the initiative at that time. She did not need to sacrifice her own life, but used an orphan and a few specious photos to make her fall into the online explosion and destroy her precarious spirit. In this life, she still took this path, wanting to make her socially dead, or even put her in jail. Unfortunately, Ren Ran is no longer the same person she used to be in this life. Jo Sun said, I will help you collect those public accounts and self-media accounts on the internet that are deliberately smearing. I will send a lawyer's letter to all of them later. Many of these accounts have received money from Kong Lian. If they don't pay a price, it would be too cheap for them. Brother Sun, thank you for your hard work. The three of them walked out. Just as they reached the door of the police station, a group of reporters and self-media people saw Ren Ran coming out and rushed up to him with their long guns and short guns. Ren Ran, why did you push your half-sister down the stairs? Netizens are saying that you did it to vent your mother's anger, is that true? An insider revealed that it was your mother who interfered with the relationship between Kong Lian's parents. As the daughter of the interferer, what do you want to say to the deceased? According to reliable information, you targeted the sister everywhere in school, and even led everyone to isolate her and bully her. Now she died because of you, do you have anything to say? Jo Sun and Gao Ying protected Ren Ran. A middle-aged man at the back of the crowd squeezed forward desperately, and when he got close, he suddenly threw something with a transparent liquid in his hand at Ren Ran. Be careful of sulfuric acid. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 185. The lethality of these 4 words is undoubtedly huge. The reporters and self-media people who were surrounding here just now used the speed they had trained for many years to dodge as quickly as possible to avoid disaster. Jo Sun subconsciously raised his hand to cover it. Suddenly, a big black umbrella opened in front of them. The bodyguard responsible for security stood in front of him, and another person subdued the person who threw the liquid. Seeing the man being subdued, other members of the media took photos of him. Someone even loudly criticized, why are you so vicious in your mind that you would throw acid at me? Why did you throw acid? What grudge do you have against Ren Ran that you want to throw acid and destroy each other? Please tell your story. Facing reporters' questions, the man on the ground roared, you are all slandering me, I didn't throw acid, I didn't. That's just ordinary water. You can't catch me. Jo Sun walked up to him and said coldly, no matter what you threw, you caused harm to my client, both physically and mentally. We will sue you. The man was obviously panicked, his tone was stammering, and he complained rather aggrievedly, you can't do this. Someone paid me to come over and pour sulfuric acid on her today. I didn't want to hurt her, so I didn't even put sulfuric acid on her. I just pretended. How can you sue me for a little water? Who found you? A reporter grasped the key point. Just a very young girl, she seems to be a high school student. A reporter took out Kong Lian's photo and wanted him to identify it, but Joseon and his bodyguards worked with the police to take him into the police station. Some reporters didn't give up and pushed forward as hard as they could, passing the photo forward. Is this the person? The man glanced this way and nodded randomly. When the reporters chased the man, Ren had already left the police station under the escort of his bodyguards. By the time the reporters reacted, it was too late to pursue him. A self-media studio. Brother, how do you think this should be edited and distributed? Xiao's video was released today. After the man read it, he said, nowadays, everyone hates the rich. If you follow the original post, it will not be interesting, and how can you earn traffic? You can directly edit it to show that the rich second generation forced his classmate to death and was beaten at the police station. Angry good citizens throw acid. Remember, don't cut in what shouldn't be edited. Brother, is this really okay? There is obviously something wrong with this matter. Besides, the people present that day were not just me, but also others. What are you afraid of? To be in the media these days, all you need is gimmicks. Whichever gimmick is good, use it, and no one will care about the truth. By the time the truth is revealed, we have already earned traffic, and we will delete this video then. That's it. Everyone is doing it now, so don't worry. I still don't understand when I see my younger cousin who just joined the job. I don't understand. The man continued to explain, go and have a look online for yourself. A lot of official media do this. Didn't they see the original video before editing it? There are also some foreign videos imported into the country. It's obviously the same thing, but why? Cutting it into something else. Doesn't the person who edited the video know that other people will see the original video and be exposed by others? But why do they still do it? Isn't it just to gain attention and traffic? No one cares about the truth. On the other side, Gao Ying held a tablet and sorted out the latest news. Little miss, as you expected, most media people choose to quote things out of context. Only a few choose to report the truth, but their traffic is obviously not as good as others. As soon as today is over, the college entrance examination will be in 2 days. Should we release the video? Gao Ying was a little anxious and couldn't help but add, Director Ren doesn't want the group to benefit from it. He just wants you to take the college entrance examination quietly and not be affected by these rumors. You more important than group interests. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, She Mo Yet. Chapter 186. Ren pondered for a moment and sighed, release it? Just release the surveillance video at the entrance of the police station and my video at the same time. When everyone attacked Ren's personal social account, Yaxing Group, and the Education Bureau, Ren's social account and Yaxing Group's official account simultaneously released information. Ren v. You can judge for yourself whether it is right or wrong. 2 videos are attached below. Yaxing Group v. We don't want to expand this matter because the dead are the most important, but the evildoers have done so that we have to take up legal weapons to protect our own interests. I hope that the majority of netizens will speak rationally. After watching the 2 videos, the righteous netizens and Water Army who attacked under the 2 accounts could no longer say anything against their will. This is clearly a deliberate false accusation. Netizen A, oh my god, I didn't expect the truth to be like this. Those media accounts are simply sick, taking things out of context and misleading the public. Netizen B, she is going to drag the other person down with her even if she dies. This is too cruel. Isn't it painful to jump off a building and die? Netizen C, even if she dies, she will drag Ren Ran with her. It can be seen that Ren Ran is not a good person. He must have done something that angered the heaven and the people. Netizen D, the person above, are you deaf or blind? That idiot is going to die soon. Don't you understand or don't understand what this means? Netizen E, the person above, go and check the revelations of the bad account. Someone has dug it out. The dead girl is actually an illegitimate daughter. She has the same father and different mother as Ren Ran. Do you understand? The illegitimate daughter did so many things, and every one of them was disgusting. Netizen F, the person on the third floor must have some problem. What he said is similar to the saying that it takes two hands to clap you. The reversal of this incident was so fast that the onlookers were shocked. It has only been a few hours since the incident, but in these few hours, they have eaten one melon after another and almost ate too much. Gao Ying was in a good mood looking at the latest feedback on the internet. Miss, everything is going in a good direction. Now everyone has turned their attention to Kong Lian. Anyone with a normal outlook will not side with her. Ren Ran was reporting safety to a few friends. He nodded after hearing her report. Gao Ying looked at the cold profile of the young lady and admired her more and more in her heart. If she hadn't been keeping an eye on Kong Lian in advance, she wouldn't have found the man in advance and replaced the contents of his bottle. Unexpectedly, the man didn't follow Kong Lian's instructions and changed the water first. Miss, you are becoming more and more like Director Ren. Ren Ran smiled, I'm far from it. The reason why she can do this is all due to her experience in her previous life. After Kong Lian returned to school, Ren Ran knew that she would do something weird, and naturally associated it with things in her previous life. In addition, Kong Lian found that man, and probably understood that she wanted to ruin her reputation again. One thing she didn't expect was that she would take revenge on her in such a tragic way. Perhaps, the bad luck during this period, her parents sent her to the mental hospital, made her desperate, and she took revenge on her in this way. It's a pity that she had suffered enough in her previous life and didn't let her evil plan succeed. Ren Ran looked at Gao Ying, tell the couple this news. The phone vibrated again, and a text message came in. Seeing the sender's name, Ren Ran smiled. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 187. Luoli, sister, no matter what people outside say, I believe you. Good luck in the college entrance examination. You must get a good score, surprise everyone, and make those trolls shut up. Ren Ran gave him a loving hug in return, and added a sentence. Do well in the college entrance examination, work together. High City 4th Hospital. Konglji, your daughter brought you something. Hearing his daughter, Konglji's gray eyes lit up, and he took the file bag from the nurse. He pulled something out of it, and when the bloody photos came into view, he was so scared that he dropped all the photos in his hand. They killed her. Konglji's last bit of confidence was gone. In another room, Ruan Fengru also got the photo of Kong Lian's death and the criticism of people on the internet. Killing and killing. Ruan Fengru tightly grasped the bloody photo of her daughter after falling from the building, and the whole person was stagnant, as if she was frozen, without any emotion. The fat patient noticed her abnormality and curiously came forward to take a look at the photo in her hand. After seeing this, the fat patient shouted happily, "Hey, that person's head is blooming, it's so beautiful." This sentence successfully provoked Ruan Fengru's last nerve. Her eyes were red. Regardless of the injury on her leg, she rushed forward and tore the fat patient's hair. The whole person was like crazy. The other two saw this and did not move, but watched happily on the side. The fat patient had the upper hand in physical strength and physique. Even though Ruan Fengru was caught off guard at the beginning, she soon turned the tables and rode on her directly, holding her hair with one hand and hitting her head on the ground. After a while, her head was broken and bleeding. Ruan Fengru seized an opportunity, grabbed the other party's hand, bit her hand, bit it hard, and no matter how the other party hit her head, she would not let go, and blood flowed from her mouth. When the nurse came and separated the two, her head was covered with blood and a mouthful of meat was spit out of her mouth. The fat patient covered his hand in pain, and there was a hint of fear in his eyes when he looked at Ruan Fengru. Ruan Fengru was being watched in the small dark room. Kongji sneaked outside the small dark room and tapped his fingers twice. In the quiet small dark room, these two sounds were particularly clear. Lji. It's me. Kongji subconsciously glanced around, and seeing that no one was paying attention, he continued, "How are you now?" "I'm fine." Ruan Fengru's weak and hoarse voice came in. "Fengru, you have to hold on. Lian is gone, you still have me." Kongji encouraged. The people in the dark, after hearing this, burst into tears, from the sobbing at the beginning to the wailing at the end. Kongji listened to the crying of the people in the room, his heart was sour, and his eyes were red. "Don't cry, don't cry." The two leaned back to back across the door, as if they could absorb each other's warmth in this way. "Are you feeling better?" Yeruan Fengru calmed down. "Fengru, you said our plan was flawless, but why did it get exposed at the end? Don't you think it's strange?" Ruan Fengru frowned. "What do you want to say?" "I suspect that the master behind you is behind it. He doesn't know how to change fate at all. He is just lying to you. Think about it carefully. Has our bad luck started since you met him? There is another thing that makes me even more curious. Why did they know about the fate change? Apart from the three of us, he is the only one who knows about it." Kongji continued to analyze. "I suspect that the master who changed fate may have secretly found the other party and betrayed us in exchange for benefits. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her." Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 188. Impossible. Ruan Fengru didn't believe it. "According to what you said, it's impossible for Renran to chase us and ask about the other party's whereabouts. Then how to explain before? He is not a master, isn't he changing his fate? Why is his luck getting worse and worse? What kind of master did you find?" "Where did you find it?" Kongji asked angrily. "That master is really capable. He is a guest of many dignitaries. If he is a liar, how can those people believe him? What is his name?" As soon as Ruan Fengru reached her mouth, she suddenly paused and her eyes flashed. "Why do you ask this?" "Nothing, I just want to know something." "What's the name of that master?" Ruan Fengru lost her cowardice and said, "Kongji, do you want to deceive the master's information from me so that you can sell the information to that bitch in exchange for your freedom?" After Kong Li saw that his purpose was exposed, he no longer concealed it and persuaded her with sincerity. "Feng, are you? Don't be stubborn. Just tell her and we can leave this hellish place. You can also see Lian's fate. Arrive. She is warning us that if we don't cooperate again, we will be attacked. As the old saying goes, if you keep the green hills, you won't be afraid of running out of firewood. As long as we are free, we can fight back when we have the chance. If we stay here now, even if we are not mentally ill, we will soon become mentally ill. You don't want to become a mentally ill person, right? Don't think about it, you're dreaming." Ruan Fengru refused directly. "Why are you so stubborn? Kongji, you are a weakling, don't let me look down on you. Just go." Ruan Fengru stood up in disappointment, left the door, walked to the corner and huddled up. No matter how the people outside shouted, she no longer responded. Ruan Fengru roared angrily as he really gave him a headache. "Go away." Kongji raised his hands in surrender. "You are too excited now. I won't tell you. Wait until you calm down and think carefully about what I said." The college entrance examination came as scheduled, and Luo Li and Renran took the college entrance examination at the same school. Grandpa directly booked a suite in a nearby 5-star hotel for the two of them, and also specially arranged a nutritionist to ensure their dietary safety. On the day of the college entrance examination, Grandma and Rensuya arrived at the hotel to pick them up. Grandma and Rensuya kept staring at Luoli, with tears in their eyes, but they kept holding it back. Luoli didn't know how to face his family members who suddenly appeared in front of him. They should obviously be the closest people, but because of the time gap, they have become strangers to each other. Ren noticed Luoli's mood and stepped forward to hold his arm. "Lee, don't have any psychological burden. If you don't want to scream, don't scream. We just hope you are well." Grandma and Rensuya couldn't help but nod. Luoli didn't know what to call them, so he nodded towards the two of them. Grandma and Rensuya watched the siblings enter the examination room. After the first day of exams, Grandma and Rensuya hurriedly put fruits on the ground and kept fanning them. "Grandma, Mom, you really don't have to be like this." The two of them surrounded Luoli, one fanned him and the other handed him fruit. "Are you tired? Do not give yourself too much pressure." Luoli looked at the two people surrounding him, feeling warm in his heart. His adoptive mother would never treat him like this. When he was a child, he would only have a good look on him when his father was around. When he got older, his father no longer came over. When he faced him, he only had a cold eyebrow and never a smile. When the college entrance examination was so important, she never cared about it. He didn't understand why before, but now he couldn't help but maliciously speculate whether she had known that he was not her biological son for a long time, so she treated him like this. Seeing that he didn't open his mouth for a long time, Grandma asked nervously, "Do you not like to eat?" "Whatever you like to eat, Grandma will prepare it for you." Luoli shook his head, opened his mouth and bit it. "Melon is very sweet. It's really sweet and stays in my heart." The 3-day college entrance examination was spent with parents and students nervous. Once the college entrance examination was over, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Ren looked at his younger brother. "Would you like to go back with me to celebrate?" Luoli shook his head. "Mom is still waiting for me at home." "Okay." Ren didn't force it. Luoli got into the taxi, and Rensuya and her grandmother reluctantly watched the taxi go away. Only when they could no longer see the shadow did they reluctantly look back. Ren held his grandma in one hand and his mother in the other. "Grandma, Mom, don't look at it. Give him a little more time, and he will slowly accept it." Yeah, the two nodded. Thinking of the hardships he had suffered outside these years, the two of them felt uncomfortable. They wanted to get close to him, but they were afraid that he would dislike them. The more you cherish it, the less you dare to act rashly. The three of them returned to the RV and drove to the mid-levels villa. Ren finally remembered the cell phone that had been turned off in his pocket. After turning it on, there were 3 missed calls from Gao Ying. The time was just after the college entrance examination. She called back immediately. "Is something wrong?" Gao Ying's voice was a little urgent. "Little miss, Ruan Fengru escaped from the mental hospital. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her." Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 189. Okay, I get it. The car drove to the mid-level villa, and after dropping off Grandma and Rensuya, they still didn't get out of the car. "Grandma, Mom, I have something else to do, so I'll go out for a while." "Okay, don't come back too late," Rensuya warned. Ren ordered, "Go to the 4th hospital." An hour later, the car arrived at Haishi 4th hospital. As soon as she got off the car, Gao Ying stepped forward to greet her. The group of people walked towards the hospital, and the person responsible for monitoring them was also here. Ren Ran looked at the other party. Tell me what's going on. The person in charge of the surveillance said, the thing is like this. After she came out of the dark room yesterday, she stayed quietly in the room. Everything was normal. In the afternoon, something went wrong with Konglji. He pretended I immediately followed him and stared at Ruan Fengru. In this gap, Ruan Fengru escaped. Where are your colleagues? The man waved to another colleague, and the young man stepped forward with a guilty look on his face, lowering his head to Ren Ran. I'm sorry, I didn't take a good look at her. If you want to blame, just blame me. Ren Ran did not dwell too much on this established fact and wasted time. Just tell me, what is going on? The young man said, when Brother Lin asked me to come over and keep an eye on Ruan Fengru, I watched her go to the bathroom and didn't come back for a long time. I felt strange. When I went in to check, I found that she had left. Gao Ying frowned. How long did it take from the time she entered to the time you entered to check? About 25 minutes. When I went out to look for her, I couldn't find her. She just seemed to disappear out of thin air. Just monitoring. Ren Ran spent a lot of money at the 4th hospital, so it was easy for the hospital to obtain surveillance. The young man said, why don't we chase him first? Gao Ying glanced at him suspiciously and said, do you know where to chase her? Do you know if she went out by herself or if someone helped her escape? She didn't have any clue, so she chased her stupidly. Hi, she is like this. Looking for a person without any clues is like finding a needle in a haystack. Ren Ran also glanced at the young man, who lowered his head in shame. Brother Lin on the side almost fainted from anger. The young man kept nodding. I'm sorry, I didn't think too much. I just thought we should go out and look for someone. Ren Ran ordered, you are responsible for monitoring the entrance and exit of the backyard, you are responsible for the front yard, you are responsible for monitoring the period from the corridor to the bathroom, you are responsible for. After everyone was arranged properly, everyone began to look at the parts they were responsible for. Half an hour later, Gao Ying saw a white car parked in the backyard, in which a lot of linen was moved. There are two possibilities. The first is that she was hiding in a corner of the hospital. The second is that she followed the car and left. Ren Ran nodded. Ask the hospital to call the police and tell them that a mental patient has escaped and ask them to find someone. Yes, I've already given the order. Before leaving, Ren Ran glanced at Konglji, who immediately rushed over when he saw him. Of course, please forgive Dad this time. Dad knows he was wrong, can you just let me go? Konglji was stopped by the bodyguard and stood a few steps away, begging pitifully for mercy. Konglji, let me tell you something. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 190. What? Your old lover Ruan Fengru was picked up by someone. She left you and went out to have fun by herself. Konglji was stunned, as if he was hit hard by the news. Impossible, how could she leave me? You are lying to me. Ren Ran just looked at him, his calm and indifferent eyes drained his energy and spirit bit by bit. Konglji, look at how much of a failure you are. You can say that you gave up everything for this woman, but in the end she never took you to heart. Is it worth it? Her mother was such a good person, if she hadn't met him, she might have met a man who truly loved her. Konglji looked dazed, and this blow seemed to have crushed him in an instant. Suddenly, he raised his head, his eyes eager. Ran, Dad knows he was wrong, Dad is willing to change, let's be a family again, okay? No. Not interested. I know the news about the person who changed your fate. If I tell you, can you let me go? Ren Ran was interested. If your information is accurate enough, I can consider letting you go. Konglji said, when I was chatting with Ruan Fengru before, I learned from her that the person who changed your fate was very famous among the dignitaries. Such a person cannot be unknown. You can follow a line and should be able to find the other party. After saying that, he asked eagerly, "Can you let me go now?" "What you said is the same as not saying anything." Ren Ran raised her legs and left. Seeing that she was about to leave, Konglji became anxious. "Dad really knows he was wrong. Dad kneels down for you, okay? As long as you can forgive Dad, I can do anything." As he said that, he broke free from the control of the bodyguard and knelt down with a thump. "Can I kowtow to you?" Konglji kowtowed to Ren Ran frantically, his head banging on the ground, not feeling any pain at all, and within 3 kowtows, his forehead was flushed. Looking at him like this, Ren Ran just felt bored and walked away directly. Konglji, she will never forgive him in this life. In the previous life, even if you had left me a bit of love, I would not do this. In this life, I will never forgive. Konglji saw her leave and wanted to chase her, but was immediately tied up by the nurses. He struggled and shouted in the direction she left, "Ran Ran, just forgive Dad this time, just forgive me." The nurse disliked his noisiness and directly stuffed a rag from somewhere into his mouth to stop him from shouting. Just as he reached the door, Ren Ran glanced at Brother Lin and the young man next to him. Before getting in the car, Brother Lin was still apologizing for his poor work. Back in the car, Gao Ying said, "That young man is Brother Lin's cousin. He just graduated and studied with Brother Lin. He thought that he could keep an eye on 2 mental patients for so long, so he asked his cousin to come back and sent another colleague away. Miss, I was not doing the right thing this time. I didn't notice the problem at the first time. Follow the rules and regulations," Ren Ran said calmly. "Okay." Ren Ran closed his eyes and analyzed the whole story in his mind. Under surveillance, leaving without anyone noticing, it must be impossible for Ruan Fengru to do it alone. Who is helping her behind the scenes? The person who changed her fate? Did Ruan Fengru use the secret to threaten the other party? The information that Konglji just said cannot be said to be completely useless. At least we know that Ruan Fengru is not looking for those masters hidden in various villages. If there are masters hidden in various villages, it will really be like looking for a needle in a haystack. Now at least we have an accurate direction. Who is that person? Could it be that he was the one who took Ruan Fengru away?